What is consciousness? There's a lot of people that talk on the internet and make videos about consciousness, but what is consciousness exactly? What is the nature of consciousness? Especially when we delve into the mind of a psychonaut who spent lots of time analyzing and tripping and experiencing and having detailed, vivid experiences and hallucinations, if you want to call it that, of leaving their body, going into the universe and exploring the nature of reality and trying to take a look at the substance behind existence itself. And pretty much every psychonaut has an encounter with consciousness itself, that consciousness is reality itself. So when you experience something like that, then you have to say consciousness is all that there is. Consciousness is all that there ever was and will be, especially when you realize the universe is infinite and has no beginning or no end. So if the thing behind the universe is consciousness, then that also has no beginning or no end. Or we could say that the universe came out of consciousness itself, but there was no point in time when that happened, so it can't be measured through the realm of time because it's something that happened outside of time in a non-local point of view, existence, so forth. We're talking about a consciousness that is infinite, that has no beginning or end, okay? So something described like that cannot be known by a finite mind. That to us, from the human perspective in our little world, is unknowable. That's what that's called. And if you've ever read the Gnostic texts, it's very interesting because that's what it describes God as, the unknowable God that the demiurge came from, and that also Sophia and the universe and the other aeons come from in the pleroma. So, yeah, they're saying like the source of the pleroma and what is behind the manifestation of the eons is unknowable. So, I don't know, you take that for what it is. So, if God is unknowable because it is infinite, and then we replace the word God with consciousness once you delve into the mind of a psychonaut who has actually seen the actual substance of what you would call God, whether that be on DMT or salvia or ayahuasca. And so rather than seeing a God, a fictional character portrayed type of God that is portraying itself as some old man in the sky, the psychonaut sees consciousness everywhere, infinite awareness. And in some trips, they even realize that they are the only awareness, that they are this awareness that they perceive all around them, and that it's always been them, and it's only been them, and it ever will only be them as far as the awareness goes, but that their awareness is boundless and infinite. Now, if you ever have an experience like that, it's definitely indescribable, okay? It's definitely unknowable from the perspective of the human being who has an ego and all these complex 3D layers and all this to experience this 3D world. Okay, that is incomprehensible. However, once you leave this human experience and your consciousness reconnects with the source or the all that is or the void of existence, the womb of creation, then you realize that this was just a cosmic joke of sorts, and you basically played the joke on yourself, not from a human perspective way of looking at it, but from a universal cosmic infinite perspective, which obviously, like I said, can't be fully fathomed from the human perspective. So this means that if we take this at face value, that consciousness is the end all be all, awareness is the end all be all. That basically means that awareness is the all that is. Awareness is the source of existence itself. That tiny pupil in the center of your eye, that leads back to the source of existence, creation, to the all that is, to the beginning of infinity, but that doesn't actually exist because there is no beginning to infinity. But it'll lead you back to your origins, so to speak, even though you have none. Consciousness has none. Awareness has none. And so basically, you dig a little deeper and you keep tripping a little more, or you keep meditating more, or you keep opening yourself up to see more. And not only do you realize you are the only awareness, not only that, but that this infinite awareness, or as the Kabbalion says, this infinite living mind can imagine worlds, or if you like to believe that there's more than one universe. Me personally, I believe that there's one universe that's infinite, but some people think that there's multiple universes, and that's okay. But this infinite mind or awareness or consciousness dreams up different planets, dreams up the universe, dreams up dimensions, dreams up worlds to experience, realms, all that. It's all the same thing. And it puts itself in the dream, and it distorts the dream and makes it as real as it can be. I mean, all of this is pretty damn realistic looking. Seeing myself on this camera right here, seeing me sit through the lens in the chair, my reflection through the screen, it all seems real. But then when you realize that I am infinite awareness and that I am not this body, but I am all things, then it gets a little mind-boggling. It really does. It's so consciousness basically exists within its own infinity, and it distorts its own infinity to get away and have a vacation of sorts from infinity, basically. And you know, there are some trips out there that support this, that the reason why infinite awareness decided to create the universe and the earth and all that is because it got bored and became lonely within its own infinity. It wants to escape infinity. It's bored of infinity. It knows what it is. It knows that it is infinite awareness, consciousness, mind. It knows that it's boundless. It has no beginning or end. It will always be an infinite void. And it wanted to get away from the infinite. And the only way to do that is to become something that's finite. So it imagined all this. It never went anywhere. Infinite awareness never left. It never went anywhere. All it did was rearrange its surroundings to create this great illusory distortion that we all experience now, known as the human experience. And the crazy part about it is there are trillions of other planets within the universe. And this is coming from science and scientists and all that. And so just imagine what's happening on all these other planets. Look at what's happening down here. Now just picture infinite consciousness on all those other planets, you know, experiencing itself as an alien or humans in the future or some other life forms that we can't even fathom, that we wouldn't even be able to imagine and draw on paper because it's just so crazy to see such a thing exists. Like we wouldn't even be able to fathom it, let alone look at it without losing our minds. And this is another thing. Infinite awareness experiences all things. So the all that it is means that all experience is fair play, basically, or up for grabs, or there is the potential, the pure potential for all experience to be, because infinite mind can only experience. It is infinite awareness. It is infinite consciousness. What else does consciousness do but experience and perceive? and dream and interface. That's what infinite awareness is doing. It's escaping its own infinity to interface with itself ultimately, because that's all it can do. But it did this out of boredom and loneliness. And if you really, really think about how the world is and how things may be on other planets, and just, what else is out there within this infinite space that we're in, it really makes you wonder, like, what the hell is really going on? Everything's going on. Anything could be going on. Things that are happening within infinite mind can't be labeled just as good or bad. Like, it's all beyond looking at things as positive or negative, good or bad. Like, it's really from a neutral space. Infinite awareness comes from a neutral space. It is pure neutrality, and that's why ultimately it allows all experience. And I think that the love that people feel on the other side, that bliss and love and all that, I think that that is infinite awareness in love with itself, because it knows that it is all powerful, but it only has itself to play with. So it loves the idea of being able to do that. And it keeps getting lost in its own creation, trying to forget itself, trying to forget infinity. And this has actually been experienced on DMT trips. And I think I read it on a couple salvia trips. But go and look this up. Infinite awareness became bored and lonely, and all this came into being. Myself sitting here in this chair, the streets, the sky, it's all infinite awareness. It's all one thing. And you've probably heard that plenty of times, people talking about everything being one, but you have to realize what that really means. Okay, infinite oneness is also incomprehensible. Okay, you won't fully understand that until you leave your physical form and you retract back into infinite awareness, which infinite awareness never went anywhere, like I said. But in this distortion, it appears like it went somewhere, but it has not gone anywhere. It has always been in this same space. This is just a sector or a region within infinite consciousness, dreaming up different states for it to escape the black hole of infinity that it is. I truly believe that consciousness is a infinite black hole, and that's why scientists can't figure out where consciousness is in the brain, because it's everywhere and it never went anywhere. That's all I got to say about that for now. I hope you get something out of this video, and stay tuned for more videos if you're interested in this type of topic.